All right, what's going on, everybody? Well, welcome back. We are live with our day 3 of our 3-day training. Wanted to give you a little kind of thought process for what you should be thinking about as we go through day 3. What my hope is for you after you've gone through today's training, which is I really want everybody to be thinking, I'm going to do this. There's just no reason why you shouldn't be taking advantage of this stuff in your business or using it to create a business. We get messages every single day, and in fact, signing people up for even this training, we asked a lot of our already existing subscribers, what's your goal? So many people want to have an agency. So many people want to be able to offer this to clients and be able to get clients, and there's just no reason not to. There's so many different campaigns. So what I'm really excited to be able to bring to you guys in day 3, and as a recap, day 1, we covered the actual opportunity that exists with this and kind of gave you guys all the entry points, gave you guys what you can do in Messenger inside of Instagram. There's a whole new world, right? I wanted to introduce that on day 1 to kind of reshape your thinking. The world of lead generation through only using landing pages and only using sales pages is gone. You've already heard from some of our other users that they don't even use sales pages anymore or opt-in pages because they realize the power of social media over to their landing and sales pages. It allows you to make not as good sales pages and get more sales. And so I just think that there's not a business on the planet that couldn't use this. If you're looking to run an agency, this is a great opportunity for that. And if you yourself have your business ready to generate more sales, ready to get more leads, I want you to be able to pop on this stuff and go. And then in day 2, we gave you as many ideas as we possibly could. Now, granted, there's a bunch more. The one downside that I was thinking about as we were doing day 2 is it's almost a shame that I can't in these sort of situations. We can't put out 12 hours of content like we do inside of a membership area, inside the collective, those ongoing calls in the collective. So for instance, one of the things you'll find when you sign up for the collective is we have bi-weekly calls. We also have weekly calls inside of Well3, but we have bi-weekly calls specifically about business and about things that are going on and working right now. There's just no way that you can do those in this sort of atmosphere. So I urge you guys to, I'm hoping that you guys notice and remember that what you learned in day 2 was sort of the tip of the iceberg with what you could do with campaigns. Obviously, you saw some of them. You heard about a lot of the stats. You heard from some of our users, people who are using this as an agency, people who are using it for themselves. You've heard about the results. Now it's one of those, this is when push comes to shove. The idea for today is I want to literally walk you through and show you how to go about creating a campaign. Now, I will preface this by saying we're going to be going through my phone. We're going to be going through Instagram because I don't know that it does it a justice for me to make a campaign based off of me. Those are almost too second nature, right? I do feel like it feels like more of a challenge and probably something that more of, you guys would appreciate if you actually watched us create something from scratch. As an agency owner or as somebody who's looking to do this for clients, you're going to be able to say, wow, he did that on the fly. I know you do know basically all the same stuff that I do now at this point. I just have more experience, but you have all the information. And as a business owner, you should be so stoked that this stuff can be done for businesses, in a very, very short period of time. So one of the things that we're going to do is just kind of scroll through Instagram, find a post. I'm going to mimic my phone on the video here in a second.
You just go through the process, the start to finish.
Exactly.
See it all.
And see if and again, what I wanted to preface on this was I might not make exactly the same campaign I would make if I was making a sequence. One of the things that we're going to do for sake of time, because I don't want to keep you guys here for 4 hours. One of the things that I've found is as you're building campaigns, if you're talking about building the campaign, it takes 4 times as long.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're just making the campaign, it's very easy. I can't do these lives and not talk about it as I'm doing it to explain what's happening. That said, I'm going to make one and we'll put in some placeholders essentially for now. So as you guys are watching this, we'll hopefully be able to put it right here in the middle of what I'm actually looking at on my phone. I'm just going to scroll through some stuff. So actually the first post that came up was Ty Lopez. He's doing a live where he's giving away a Bored Ape NFT, and literally it says, check the link in my bio to get in the giveaway. He's doing a giveaway for a $200,000 NFT, which is great, but it's link in my bio.
Yeah.
It's like it could have easily been, hey, comment on this.
That's a pretty cool giveaway.
So here's the thought. There's a bunch of different ways that you can actually go about finding posts. So as we're scrolling through, there's what I like to do as an exercise is just go through and look at different pieces of content. And so that's absolutely something that I would recommend that essentially everybody do. Spend more time playing the game to think about campaigns. But you know what I think we should do to make this even faster, and this is how we're doing this live, is go to the Trello board that we have. Yep. We have a Trello board for all of our collective members. You guys are going to get a little sneak peek on this. That literally shows all the posts that I see in my feed that could be some sort of a sequence. And I say we share a campaigns based on those.
We're going just straight posts, like organic posts, or are we going ad?
Well, it could be either one, really, right? Like I think almost all of these could be either one. Some of these are going to be posts that would be better as a post. So let's go with the giveaway campaign, because I think that
I like it.
That's something that's going to be so easy to understand. I talk a lot about the economics of giveaways. Understand that, like, this company here, it's Filmmakers on Instagram. They're giving away a $2,500 phone camera and lens looking combination, 6K camera. It had a bunch of comments on it, but I didn't screenshot that for some reason. But 20,000 likes. And the only way that you had to get in was by, commenting on the post. That's all you had to do.
Oh, it's just commenting. It's not even following the page.
Yeah, it probably had like some you have to follow to win or whatever, but I don't have the actual section of it here on the screenshot. So what I want to do is I want to actually, as I'm recording my screen, we're going to pretend, okay, Travis, let's say Filmmakers comes to you, right? And here's what I think this makes it more fun, more interactive. I'll have Filmmakers comes to us.
Yep.
You're going to walk me through, they want to run a giveaway. What are our steps for making the campaign? So I'm going to obviously go in and set up the first part of it. The very first thing that we're going to do is I go to my workflows. So I've connected the page in Chatmatic. We now go to workflows. I'm going to add a new workflow. And then from there, inside of Chatmatic, we have a template library. It's basically a template marketplace where you can buy and or look at different templates, right? So we have an e-commerce coffee company giveaway, lead generation framework. This happens to be in an Instagram campaign. But let's go ahead and go. I'm going to go blank workflow. We're going to start from scratch. I'm going to pretend this is a client. So if you're doing giveaways, this is exactly what we would do for you. But obviously, you would do it for yourself. And if you're looking to run an agency, this is literally gold in your hands. Blank workflow. I'm going to call this camera giveaway. A lot of what I'm going to do inside this workflow is going to be placeholder material. So I'll literally say, this is where I would say that. Obviously, you're going to put more copy and text into it. But the first thing that we do in our giveaways is, and let's say, so we first have to assess. Yep. We have to assess how we're going to get it.
So first thing is entry point. I think the entry point for contests or giveaways, the best entry point for a giveaway is a private reply. So if we go back to that PDF that we got on day one, that's 300 characters or less, and the use of a quick reply. So meaning you can't instantly like ask for their email. You can't.
We need one step. And the reason for that is because the private reply doesn't actually make them a subscriber. Something to keep in mind is the only way to make somebody an actual subscriber where you can now really engage with them is to get them to engage in a chat, whether in Messenger or in Instagram. So if they're just commenting on a post, that's not them engaging in a chat. But you are allowed to send them a message to see if they will engage with the chat. So that's what your first objective is to get them to engage in the actual chat itself. So we've got here the giveaway post. It's clear what they're actually giving away. Like you said, first message that we're going to send is going to be a private reply message, which means it's one item in the message, and it's got to be less than 300 characters. So I would just say, in the beginning, the first thing that we do is say, okay, great. Here's a rundown of what's happening. Click enter to win.
Yeah.
So I would say,
I always like to thank them, or
quick thank you and introduction of the rules. I'm going to move this. Keeping this to under 300
short and sweet.
characters.
You're just trying to incentivize them enough to click on that first quick reply. And typically in this sort of situation, you really only want to use one quick reply. You're not going to have multiple different options.
We're not trying to assess anything here.
Yeah.
We're just trying to get them to take action.
Once they engage, now we have that conversation started. Now we can we can do whatever we want.
Now, again, as sort of like let's use this as a demo of Chatmatic here on day 3. This is a quick reply. A quick reply, again, it's covered in the PDF from day 1, but a quick reply is basically just an assumed response that will continue the bot sequence, right? So the assumed response is enter to win. You can see in my sequence, I have down pointing arrows, and it says click enter to win. Enter to win. That enter to win is going to trigger this next message. Not rocket science. This is just literally, even as I do it, it literally pops it out for me. Now I can disconnect this and create another sequence to create another message if I want, or I can drag this back to message 2. Bang, I've got it. So now in message 2, I can do whatever I want, right? So my objective is to run over step 1, step 2, step 3 to entering into the giveaway. And now I'm going to ask for email. Now, this is an Instagram bot sequence. We can't pre-populate their email like we could if it was in Messenger. Since we can't pre-populate it, we need them to type it, which means we've got to use a user input, which user input just means we're going to ask a question and allow the user going through the sequence to input an answer. When they do, the sequence continues. So you'll kind of see here, so enter your email below, right? Now point down. We go to the settings because we got to tell Chatmatic.
How do you want to save that response?
What do you want to save their response to? We want to save it as email. If we ask them for their birthday, we could save the response to field birthday, and now we've got that. If we ask them for their daughter's name, you could save it to daughter's name, and now you've got that. Favorite color would be saved to favorite color, and now you've got that. Yep. We've also got this trigger automation step. That is actually how you get subscribers out of Chatmatic. So you can set up automations in our settings system. And what that's going to do is automation might say, hey, sync with Klaviyo and add them to this list. Click save automation. Now, when you go to trigger automation, you can actually trigger that automation to occur, which will then send the data over to that platform. So edit next message. So
we're kind of brushing over that a little bit, but in the collective and in the training areas,
obviously,
we do have more training specifically on integrations and automation.
And here's the thing, right? Like with Chatmatic, it's a software. It's like riding a bike. You do want to know the steps in the process. We're glazing over this for sake of being able to show you as many specific campaigns as we can and actual builds of this. And then here in just a little bit, be able to actually share with you exactly how to execute on this ASAP, get more leads, get more sales, and build a bigger business, whether it's as an agency or whether it's, especially if you own your own business. Like I can't stress enough, anybody who's got a product that needs more leads and that wants more sales and that wants that business to last longer.
You could have this set up today.
Should absolutely be. I mean, there's no part of me that understands why collective isn't the first move for them. Instead of going through all the learning curve process of learning how to do all this, work with us. That's why we created the collective. But yes, you absolutely should be setting these up. This is something that it's almost like this should be as important to most people as Facebook ads, as these other, as email marketing, because this is how you make all of that work.
I mean, I'll say this. If you have your own business and you have products and, you've been generating some sales and you want to utilize this, and after this 3-day training, you don't have something set up, I'll jump on a call with you and
100%.
walk you through setting something up.
You need to have, this is actually a big passion of ours. You don't spend 6 years doing something 100% of the time without end up having some sort of an affinity for it. Obviously we're better, faster at it than most, but that's why I wanted to create Collective, to create some sort of arm and engine where we could work with you to help you get results. But as you can see here, this actually is a really cool feature where as soon as you collect a personal feature about somebody, we're going to pop up this email autoresponder customization feature. So we're going to go, hey, do you want to add this to your email autoresponder? Yes. Okay. Choose the autoresponder that you've already connected in the settings. So I connect it. Then it's going to say, what would you like to do? I'm going to subscribe that person to a list, and I'm going to choose the list, newsletter, save and complete. Now, as soon as they give me their email, they're sent over to Klaviyo and they're on my newsletter. And again, this is why I think, this is why this is better than a normal giveaway. We've talked about it in day 2. Is like, normally you're just getting followers.
You're not getting anything
else
about that.
And like, again, here's what I think is the worst. Like, what if you spent a bunch of your money, time, and assets building, this audience on Instagram, and Instagram shadow bans you for sharing a friend's post, or Instagram goes down, or Instagram just recently changed their algorithm. They now favor Reels significantly more than they favor normal posts, right?
Yep.
So what if you were built around images and now don't have a capability for Reels, but you've spent so much time and energy running giveaways to get more followers, but you never got them off the platform? Now you're essentially screwed. So anybody who runs a business, who cares at all about social media, which I feel like is every business, you can't not be on social media.
I know.
I feel like everybody needs to be doing something like this. And I don't care how big or small your business is. I think actually the funny thing is, the bigger your business and the smaller your business, the more you need this. Because the smaller, you need touch points with your clients. The bigger your business is, this is the easiest way for you to expand, is to get more people.
I just think
on your
Instagram
list.
is way too fragile to rely 100% on them. Like, they can shadow ban you, like he was saying, deprioritize you in some other way.
Well,
It's
and we've
just-
seen it a lot. We've seen
yeah,
people
it's
come to us with
time
that
after time.
all the time.
It's sad. It's sad to see people kind of in desperation mode when it's like, oh, gotta start putting stuff in place.
Yeah, this is insurance for when that happens. That's at the worst case. So now we've also got, if you wanted to add images, which I highly suggest. So we've got their email address. It goes to step 3. We're going to say, thanks, you're awesome. And now we've actually got royalty-free images that you can use inside of our platform. So if you don't even have your own images, bang, you can just toss one in, and now you've got your images all set. There's a bunch of different things in the toolbox here. They're all covered in the media types inside the PDF, but we've got cards, carousels, images, text, delays, just a normal time delay if you want to make it feel a little bit more real, user input, and then widgets. Widgets are going to be for like what we do with Shopify, for instance. We have a Shopify integration, which we haven't even had time to cover on this. And the Shopify integration allows you to bring products in dynamically. So you could actually hit the widget and say, I want to go with things in this collection, and it'll populate a carousel of things in that collection. So there's some really cool things with our widgets. We're adding stuff to this all the time. So it's going to change, it's going to enhance. But for the most part, play around with all of those. Carousels are one of my favorite things because they're one of the best ways to tell a story without having to use a lot of words. Mm-hmm. Sequences are great when you don't have to use a lot of words. And you know what I think is really funny about this whole 3-day thing, and part of me feels bad about it, but I know that it's the way that it has to go. Everything we're showing, and we've done a good job of showing how small sequences can be, but we spend so much more time and energy discussing the how of something than what will actually go into doing the thing.
Yeah.
Like I've spent more time making this giveaway than I would actually spend making my own giveaway. And I'm only 3 steps in. And it's because I want to make sure that everybody understands and that we explain everything fully. But just realize, like, it's crazy how much you can do and how fast you can do it, and with the power that it puts in your hands. Just to give you guys a little update here, obviously this is a duplication feature, so I can hit copy, and then it'll actually copy that step, as you can see here. And there's a bunch of other things I can do. If I hit this, I can actually put a delay on something. So let's say they get this message. I'm like, you're awesome. You've entered in to win the camera, right? Now I can wait 1 hour and come back and send them another message inside of this chat that says, hey, did you buy this thing? Yes or no? I could also wait 1 hour, add a condition, and the condition would say, if user clicked the button, which I don't have any, or a quick reply, enter to win, then do this. You can do these conditions all the way throughout. Use your head. I'm sure you're a smart person. If you have integrated in your integrations, if you've gone in there and you've integrated a SendGrid account, you can send an email right here because you've collected the email. You could send an email, and it's just as easy as hitting that. You go to customize email. You put in the name that the email is coming from, the email address it's coming from, the sending address. So this is where you want to send the email. Subject line, body email. Boom, done. Again, it's all comes down to kind of how you would want to do it. Now, in this case, with a giveaway, the way that we're normally looking to do it when we work with somebody is we want to get the most out of the first interaction as we possibly can. So we are trying to collect an email. We're going to see, do you use SMS? Because if you do, we're going to add a step to double the odds to collect SMS. If you don't use SMS, no harm, no foul. We'll move them over to at least get some information on your offer. And I want to show you how that looks. So now I might add a little text block and says, just for entering, we're going to give you 15% off our entire inventory for the next 24 hours. I like using scarcity here. Give them a reason to actually take action. Get them moving. Now you can see we go to add button. One of the biggest differences between the button and the quick reply is a quick reply can never open a link. All a quick reply can do is submit for a new response, right?
And I think pushing them over to your store is so important, like within these sequences, because in a normal giveaway, think about how they're structured now, you're not monetizing anything. I mean, maybe somebody who enters the giveaway, clicks on your profile, goes to your website and happens to buy. You don't know.
Well, that's the funny thing. That's the hope.
Yeah,
that's the hope. And yeah,
like,
you could
best
look at
case scenario.
A lot of people look at blended ROI there. So they'll say, okay, so I've got this many campaigns running right now. Normally I'm doing $1,000 a day. During the giveaway, I did 1,200. The assumption is 200 came from the giveaway, right? So they'll look at this blended strategy where why don't you just give them a unique gift card or discount code inside this sequence and then track how many people use that gift card. So things like that can work. Again, with the giveaways, it's one of the reasons I think that it worked so well with this one in the Trello board that we used was it's a camera. That's an expensive thing, a $2,500 giveaway.
That's something you want to give away.
But what's really funny is I want to make sure that we show this too, because in this Trello board, we have one campaign that I think is absolutely incredible. Let me just pull it up. I screenshotted this and I remember thinking, oh my gosh, that would be insane. Venmo. Do you remember when Venmo gave out $100,000?
Yeah.
They gave away $100,000, but it was like
you get 100
in $500 increments.
Oh, 500. And you had to share it on your story or something.
They got 3.4 million views, and I think they had something at the time I saw it of like 1.2 million comments or something. And they could have sent a message to every single one of those commenters, getting an email that then said, hey, do you use Venmo? If they said no, go sign up.
Yeah.
That simple, like bang. Pretty cool. Now, granted, they're giving away $100,000, so it's not like it's something that we're all going to be able to do, but it was a cool idea, and it's something that I definitely think, resonates a lot. And we've got all these other examples. Like I like to pull in posts that could be ads. Here's another awful example of social media where this is David Beckham's eyewear company, and they literally posted to the perfect poolside accessory, style DB7048/S.
What?
There's no way for me to go from this post to actually buying the sunglasses. So then I went to their store. I can't search for that DB7048S. I don't know where to find it. I legitimately tried to buy these sunglasses, tried to go through the process, couldn't find them. All you would have had to have done is say, comment below for a link, and that could go somewhere. Then, if this post works really well, DM me 7048.
Yeah.
Now you're setting up one keyword trigger. Now, here's what I want to show you guys next is let's go back into the screen here.
Yep.
So Now we've got our sequence. Let's say this is done. I hit save. We're good. Camera giveaway. Now I've got to trigger it, right? I need to use an entry point. The triggers are essentially the entry points for Chatmatic. So now, okay, Travis, I've got my sequence. I get it. You can have all this fun. You can do all these things. But how do I make it so that when somebody comments on my post that they're going to get it, right? They're going to get that message. So I go to my triggers. There's two ways. We invented one. We invented
cool
one.
Invention too.
That's why I called it genius, because it was a genius move. It's actually called #genius. I'm going to show you. Here you can see a list of all of your stuff. This is like a really cool feature. Anytime somebody subscribes to your campaign, let's just look at this Andrea Masterclass. I click on it. I get a list of everybody who's subscribed to that campaign. I can export them to a PDF. I can broadcast to them via email or SMS. So if I'm collecting SMS in the sequence, I can SMS any of them, or I can email them, or I could trigger an automation. So let's say I wanted to get them over to my email system, but I didn't do it ahead of time. I can select all of them, trigger an automation, bang, now they're all sent over to my email platform.
Yeah, I love that.
All three of those are super cool and super useful. Now you can literally message or broadcast only the people who subscribe to this campaign. Not to mention, if you're in Messenger or you're in Instagram, and let's say you did a 24-hour giveaway, 23 hours later, you could message all of them back into the sequence. You could actually send a messenger broadcast back into that workflow.
And if you're a business owner, then that gives you no excuse to not just start right now, because it's like, hey, collect as many leads as possible. You can always send those to your autoresponder, at a later date.
Yeah, even if you don't have everything set up.
And as an agency owner, one of the hardest things that you'll have with a business and takes the longest time is that initial process of, oh, you use Klaviyo, add me to your Klaviyo account, or you use...
Why is that such a problem?
I don't know. It's just that communication of whether it's via email or text. It's just hard. I don't know.
It is hard to get access to certain stuff, and sometimes
but
the access
now
doesn't
you don't
work.
even have to wait. You just, hey, we're going to run this. We'll run it right now.
Get it moving.
And then, throughout the week, we'll get everything
And so, let's imagine that we did this once, and it was a wildly successful campaign. Black Friday's coming up. 2 weeks before Black Friday, we ran an ad that said, hey, if you want to get notified when our Black Friday deals are live and get in early on them, which, look, the company that made this jersey, they make custom jerseys, obviously. We don't actually have a baseball team.
That'd be
I thought about it at one point, but turns out they're a bit more expensive than my budget. We've got these jerseys, right? Let's say I've had my eye on these jerseys for a while, and they run an ad to me, because I've shopped with them now, or I'm in their warm audience, and they say, hey, if you want to get notified when our ads, when our Black Friday deals are live, and you want to be early on everybody else, and get an additional bonus, go opt in here. I click, go into a sequence, collects my email, collects my mobile. Now, I've literally signed up to get notified of when you are making your best deals. So when you do, I'm getting them. And so we saw that happen massively during Black Friday the last few years. People on Black Friday who are utilizing this and utilizing that one ad made insane amounts more money. In fact, so much so, obviously I own Chatmatic. My motivation here is pretty clear. I want you to use Chatmatic. I want you to join the collective, right? That said, if somebody joins the collective, has their own offer, or is an agency and does what we tell them to do and show them, or uses Chatmatic, builds their list, you make more than you paid for collective on Black Friday. Like the small campaigns that we saw a girl who did 5,000 Messenger subscribers make $18,000 additional on Black Friday. The very first time we did it, we ran the ad, $400. The early sign up to Black Friday deals, $400. Made $1,200 on that. Made an additional $12,000 to $16,000 on emails and SMS and mobile messages on Black Friday by making the deal available a little bit early to these VIPs that we ran the ad to. So, I mean, that's just, to me, I'm like, I keep going back to it's such a cool thing. And then to be able to directly message people who subscribe to an individual campaign, that was where I was going with that, was now you've got all these subscribers who've subscribed to this early bird campaign. Mm-hmm. All you've got to do on Black Friday is go in, click on them, highlight them so that everybody's highlighted, broadcast SMS, send your SMS. And I'm just going to show you guys on my screen how easy this is, and I'll come back to this. Go here, broadcast SMS, and it's going to go, okay, cool. What do you want to send them? So now I send the message that I'm actually going to send as an SMS.
Easy.
Done. And let's say I get 1,000 people. It would cost me $10 in text message costs. Or is that $1? It's one penny. No, it's $10.
$10.
$10. So it would cost you $10 in SMS. And we literally charge you the same SMS fees that everybody else does. So it's an easy one, right? Like it's crazy how fast it is. Now, going back to this, I've got my campaign, Travis. Travis, focus. Focus.
We're back to the contest here.
Gosh, 2 days later. Sorry, guys. Okay. So we're back on the contest or whatever campaign you've got. I want to make it work when somebody messages me. I want to make it work whenever we have this. You'll see on the right-hand side, we've got getting started with triggers. You can just read that, or you can go through our training video called Triggers, where they can just go through and watch us make triggers. I'll just show you right now. Add new trigger. I think this is super cool. We're going to show you the one that we invented because I'm a little biased. We're the only people that have this one. As far as I know, we're the only ones that have it. And I will take full credit to the grave that I created this. I invented it.
Should.
We're going to call this giveaway demo. Now, we have a couple things in here that you can use. And as you're going to see on my screen, we have an auto response. Mine is blanketed out because I already have an auto response. An auto response is simple. How would you describe an auto response?
Auto response fires when someone types anything that you don't otherwise have a message set up for. Meaning,
let's say you set up, you just got Chatmatic.
Okay.
You want to make sure everybody gets a message. That's an auto response. Yeah. And what that is that's your catch-all. So let's say you're selling a book, and anytime somebody says the word book, you want to send them a message. You'll set that up as a keyword engagement. Everybody else who messages you, if you want them to get a message that just says like, hey, I'm not here right now. I check my messages every so often. If you're looking for support, click support. You could work them through a support funnel. If you're looking for my hours, click hours, goes through an hours funnel, right? Like you can have a sequence that does all those. That would be an auto response.
Yep.
It's your catch-all. It's just in case you're not around, it'll send. It sends once every 24 hours.
And you can only obviously have one of those. That's why it's grayed out.
That's why mine is grayed out. Then we've got keyword trigger. Keyword trigger is very simple. You can have it where it contains any word, contains all, exact match. I don't even have time to go through all the different ways that catch all, contains any, contains all, and contains exact match.
Yeah, I would just read it because the only difference is contains any and contains all can only have individual words.
Yep. An exact match is like if I'm doing a giveaway for a MacBook and I wanted people who want to subscribe, if I said, hey, DM me MacBook giveaway, I would set up an exact match for MacBook giveaway. If they type MacBook giveaway, please, doesn't work. So just keep that in mind. It's like pretty simple when you get into like normal logic. But then we've got stories mentioned. Stories mentioned we haven't really talked about.
It's cool.
And I feel bad about it.
Yeah.
But it's mostly for somebody who's probably got more than 30, 40,000 people on Instagram who are getting tagged in a lot of stories. A stories mention is when somebody mentions your brand in stories. You're allowed to privately message them back when they tag you.
So like if I tagged Travis in his page in my story. So
this
I create a
stories mention would respond to him instantly.
Yep. So I'd get a message from him saying, hey,
thanks for why don't you wear your jersey? And exactly.
Rock some swag.
Do you want a jersey? You should check this out. It's a really great way to get ambassadors. It's a really great way to get upsells. It's a really awesome way if you're doing a giveaway where the rules are you have to tag me in a story. If that's one of the rules, you could instantly send them a response and say, hey, congratulations. It looks like you finished all the steps. Stuff like that would be a really good way to use it. And then when you're done with it, you just turn it off. Like when the giveaway is done, you can just turn it off.
You can only have one of those.
One stories mentioned, obviously, because it's anytime somebody mentions you in stories, it goes. But I'll show you private reply. Private reply gives you two options. One, send replies to a specific post. So if you made a post, not a Reels, but pretty much any other post, any other post, you can have it where if anybody comments on it, they will get a message from you. Matter of fact, we just had somebody do one of these the other day, so I figured I might as well pull it up and tell you a little bit about the stats. This was a pretty cool one. So one of our users did this yesterday. The video they posted got 66,000 views, and it's a boomerang video. It's nothing too extremely amazing. It wasn't like it was a super highly engaged post. And I'm not exactly sure what actually happened on this. What's super funny is it's showing 77 comments. It must be way more than that because, yeah, it looks like it's way more than that. For some reason, it's not updating. Oh, it's 530 now that I went to it. So they posted this 23 hours ago, and it basically said, hey, do you want a signed book? If you do, you can go buy my book, and I'll sign it if you buy it through this link. And they got 530 comments. So the whole thing said, simply comment below, and we'll send you the link where you can get it. When you commented, they sent a message that said, it basically said, thanks for showing interest in my book. If you want an autographed copy, click sign my book.
I mean, it's literally the bare minimum. That
Yeah.
goes to show, like, you don't have to do anything crazy.
And look, so I'm recording my screen, so we'll pop this up here.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Get signed copy here. There's the link.
That's it.
It loads inside the thing. And you know what's so crazy? I don't know how many books they've sold from this, but they got 500 comments from people who deliberately said, I want that. I wouldn't be surprised if they got 50 to 100 book sales.
I was going to say probably 150, but
I mean,
we'll call it 100.
That's pretty wild.
$3,000 on one post.
That would be a private reply to a specific post, right? Now there's a workaround for that. A lot of people say, Travis, what if I have a client? What if myself, what if my team is hosting a giveaway and I want to set up the workflow so that as soon as I make the post, it starts sending message. So we had the same problem because you can't, inside of Instagram, you can't look at these scheduled posts. So I said, let's fix it.
Yeah.
And we did. We created something called #Genius. #Genius is going to send a specific response to any time somebody comments on a post that has a specific hashtag. So here's the idea. You're running a giveaway. The giveaway is for a Chatmatic jersey. I would go in here. I would set up Chatmatic jersey, right? Hit enter. So now any post that I make that uses #Chatmatic jersey, it's going to send my camera giveaway save and complete. So now if I ever use Chatmatic jersey, the #Chatmatic jersey, and I can use any other hashtag I want.
Yeah.
Just at least have that one hashtag. It's going to send this message. Now, how would this be used? One of the best ways that I've used this personally is on my podcast. So if I put a clip from my podcast on Instagram, I'll always use the hashtag podcast. I have a #Genius set up in Chatmatic looking for the hashtag podcast. Anybody who comments on it is going to get my workflow that says, hey, thank you so much. In fact, the clip that you just commented on was from my podcast. I'd love it if you subscribe. Here's a link. Would you like a link directly to my Apple iTunes or to my Spotify or to my SoundCloud? They click one of them, and I give them the link directly to it right there.
Yeah.
If you run a podcast and you're not doing that, because you're already making the social content. You're already clipping your podcast for Instagram. Think about like some of the people that we like Theo Vaughn. Instead of saying, hey, the new episode is out, when he posts a clip from like 3 shows ago, have #podcast on there. Bang.
So go check out my podcast.
And then as soon as you comment, oh, that was so funny. Now you're instantly sending a direct message to the person who commented saying, I'm so glad that you liked it. Thank you so much for commenting. Yeah. Here's a link to the actual podcast.
Go check it out.
Do you watch it on YouTube? Do you watch it on Spotify? Here's where you can go to get both.
I feel like a common question here is, well, are we constantly having to update that workflow to send to the latest podcast episode? Easy put, no.
No, you're linking to your podcast homepage.
Yeah. That homepage. Like, you don't have to change that workflow.
And
you
so
could, but you don't have to.
That's how those work. We have, obviously here, we've got some keyword triggers. So I go in here. That's the most common one because I can go on stories right now. Literally, I can go on my phone, go on Instagram stories, and let's say I'm doing a brand new launch. Hey guys, I'm hosting my 3-day training. If you want to get access, just DM me 3-day. Send me the words 3-day, and I'll get you a link to the training, right? Boom, send to Instagram. Okay, it's on my stories now. I would go in Chatmatic and say, okay, anytime somebody sends me the word 3-day, so I'll show you just like this, 3-day, exact match, send this workflow. And now it's done and it's working. I don't have to do anything about it. This is where we mix automation with lead generation, with just like what I was talking about when, and you guys probably see this with Andrea's comments about this yesterday, was, one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of people make is you're going to be getting more DMs now. there's two ways to think about it. Oh, I don't want to leave a bunch of DMs unread. Okay, maybe there's a potential for that. But what about all those DMs that you can now go into and make sales from? Especially if you're just starting out, dude, you're nuts. I think about small brands. We've worked with a couple of small e-commerce stores that were like, just starting to bustle and move. Why not go into those DM channels and say, hey, we just wanted to see what you thought of the product. Mm-hmm. Did you like it? Did you not? Right? People get distracted. Maybe somebody really wants to buy it and they just forgot your brand. How many times have we talked about that individual case of like somebody advertised to me and eventually I wanted it, but I couldn't find them?
Yeah.
It happens all the time because Facebook's algorithm is insane-o. Yeah. Guys, this is worth talking about. One of the main reasons you should be doing this stuff here. We've had so many discussions over the algorithm, how absolutely terrifying Facebook's algorithm is when it comes to ads, right? Like,
scary.
I don't remember the last time that we did this, but we were talking about something, and I know there was a time we were talking about wine. Oh, this was the one. I was talking to the guys here in my office about wine, and we were talking about a specific red wine, Bella Gloss, because it has the red dip in candle wax.
Yep.
I was talking about it in here in the office. We didn't look anything up. We didn't go to any websites. When I got home, I had an ad on Instagram of a bottle of Bella Gloss, which I had never seen before, and I know because I know the brand. But that's how good the algorithm is, that when you're talking about stuff or when you go to somebody's shop, how many times have you gone to a golf store and looked for something and been like, oh, I'll look later. And then a good example is like the little ball markers on a golf course. I was looking at once. I got ads from 70 different places the next 3-4 days.
You know what I've been getting a lot lately is there's a pair of shoes that you wear. They're nice, but they're kind of like...
They have wheels on them?
They look a little dirty.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's how they came.
Yep,
I think there's like an O on the side.
Yeah, Oliver Cabell. Those are my shoes.
I've never, ever looked that up in my life.
Those are the shoes that I wear.
I get their ad every single day.
They're also very big on promoting the men in a certain age group, so they've got a big budget.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But here's what's crazy. Here's the main reason we should all be doing this, right? We should all be using this to get people off of social media and especially retargeting and trying to, develop that relationship. Let's say you go and you look at a pair of shoes, right? You're giving that small business that you just saw their ad one time that chance. Then you leave because it's a $100 purchase and you don't make those very easily and you're trying to wait, whatever. Then a brand like Oliver Cabell, which I love their shoes. Then they've got big budgets because they charge $350 for their shoes, right? $300, $350. I get all mine on pre-order. It's like $200, which is a good plan. But then they've got big budgets. So guess what? Small company, Mr. I'm on the come up. You just told Facebook, yo, Trent's interested for shoes. And you know what they do? Oliver Cabell is currently right now spending a ton of money. Facebook knows that. They say, hey, we want to keep this guy advertising. How do we do it? Well, he's looking for conversion objectives. Let's start showing his ads to everybody who's recently looked at other people's shoes. And the likelihood that you get to compete with the luxury brands out there is tiny.
Yeah.
Unless you are a luxury brand, in which case you've got the money to outspend other people, you still should be doing this. But it just blows me away because that small company could have sent you into a chat. Now they've developed a little bit of a relationship. Now you have a guaranteed way to find them again, which is nice without having to have ads.
Have to pay, yeah.
And they can follow up with you guaranteed for that 24 hours, which I think is absolutely massive. So all of this to me is just a reminder. The algorithm is like one of those things that I probably don't talk about enough that is so insanely good that there's been times where this is how good the algorithm is, to be honest. This is how I've figured it out. Even when I don't know that I'm about to need or want something, when I start seeing a lot of ads for it, I realize I'm about to need or want that. Like they know what I want before I do.
Yeah.
I truly believe that. And I'm not I don't even know how to put it into accurate perspective, but if you really pay attention to your ads and you see one ad a lot, you got to start thinking to yourself like, I'm probably going to buy this.
Yeah, well, I see it with like the soap and deodorant that I buy now.
Yep.
It's like once a month, like because I'm on that cycle.
Totally.
Where they'll start showing me that ad like once a month, once every 2 months, like, hey, you need to re-up on your supply. And it's like,
Totally.
oh crap, yeah, I do.
And because they've now ingrained you into their ecosystem, the likelihood that you're going to fall for somebody else's ad is lower because they haven't had the chance to develop a relationship where this brand that you've been buying from has.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it all comes down to relationship. And there's no better way to start a relationship with somebody than in a chat. Isn't that how you start relationships with real people in the real world?
Real people. You have a conversation. It's not like I'm just gonna go up to somebody, like just start saying things a million miles an hour, or just start yelling at them, basically, because that's kind of what Instagram is.
That's what a landing page is.
Yeah, that's what a landing page is, or just like a normal post is like you yelling at me and me not engaging at all. Where that DM is that conversation. You get to know me, I get to know your brand. Now I want to buy from you.
So even inside of Chatmatic, we have this list of all of your subscribers. So at any time, you could actually click on one of the subscribers. You can actually see the full conversation history. And if I wanted to, message them back right in here. You can also see their phone number, their email address. All of that's been collected. You can see what campaigns they've subscribed to. So I can tell, for instance, this person is literally the first time he's ever subscribed to me on Instagram because I've only got one campaign subscribed. I haven't tagged him as anything yet, but if I wanted to, I could. Because you might have an automation set up in some way where, if this tag happens, let's do this, right? So there's a lot that you can do there. You can export all of your subscribers. You can also filter to look through your subscribers to find certain things. If you're having, if you want to go through and actually kind of have more of a one-on-one approach. Then we've got our broadcasts. So if you want to send a broadcast, it's all described over here, plus a little walkthrough video. So when you get into Chatmatic, obviously that becomes easy. But yes, I can send SMS broadcasts. Yes, I can send email broadcasts all through this. And it's pretty fast, pretty efficient, very simple.
Just remember the 24-hour rule, too.
For sending messages. You can send messages
within Instagram.
Yep, and in Messenger, as long as they have been active within 24 hours. That's it. So then we've got here our custom fields and tags. One of the things that I love, and again, we also haven't talked about it, and I wanted to in day 2. We just, time, man. I don't want to keep you guys here forever. Maybe you got kids or a job or something. But icebreakers, dude. Icebreakers. No, one of the easiest ways to start an agency is start offering icebreakers to people. What an icebreaker is it's a pre-written question that will show up when somebody goes to your DMs the very first time. So if somebody goes to your page, your profile on Instagram and hits message, these icebreakers will show up. And
I think the best thing to do when you're setting up icebreakers is to kind of go through your inbox and audit it.
100%.
See if there's a common question that people are asking, or I'm sure as the business owner, if you are a business owner, you probably understand hey, people tend to ask
or this is what I want them to think, so I'm going to put this here. So for instance, I one of mine is what is Chatmatic, right? One of my icebreakers is the phrase what is Chatmatic. When they click on it, it goes through a sequence that tells them what Chatmatic is. And we tell you how many people have clicked on it. We allow you to delete it, to edit it, add up to I think 5 icebreakers. These are great for local business, like directions, hours, can we get pricing, all that stuff. You can build into a pre-built sequence and then throw it into an icebreaker. It's also great for your best campaigns. Do you use, are any of you guys familiar with Linktree? One of the tricks that I use is, Linktree is literally a page where you send everybody that has a bunch of links in it, so that way you can keep one link in your profile, and when they click it, it gives them an option for everything. All those same Linktree options, make them so that they're here in the icebreaker, and then just say, hey, go DM me the word YouTube, or they can hit the icebreaker YouTube. So I could have an icebreaker that says YouTube channel, icebreaker that says, what's my, my book.
And Instagram wants you to do this.
They made it all possible.
They made it. They want you to do it.
We just built a software that makes it so that you could do it.
Yes.
Versus having to develop this as some sort of, crazy programmer.
Yeah, I don't even know.
You don't want to be a programmer. Those guys are wild. I love our programmers.
I love them too, but they're nutty.
They're just they're good dudes.
They are good dudes.
You can also make a lot of money as a programmer, apparently. I'm just saying. But so in here's another good option. Custom fields and tags. As somebody goes through one of your actual workflow, you can tag them right? Or you can collect custom fields information. So you can see over here, we have like, I asked somebody when we did a 3-day training event specifically for agencies, I said, how would you rate it, right? So I saved that response as the 3-day agency rating. So I can use that again in future messages. It's one thing that we don't talk enough about, obviously, is custom fields you can reuse. So if I ask somebody, what's your birthday? In the very next message, I can merge back in the answer that they submitted to me. Hey, what's your favorite color? I can merge back in and say, hey, everybody who usually loves, little squiggle color squiggle, it'll merge back in whatever they said to me, right? So it saves their response to them uniquely.
I think one of my favorite examples for this is like a quiz.
Oh, yeah, and at the end of the quiz saying, here's your answers.
At the end of the quiz, here's your answers.
Mm-hmm. Here's what you answered. Here's the solution that you need.
Yeah.
Hey, do you sleep enough? How many hours of sleep do you get a night? Between 1 to 2, and then 6 to 8. They hit 6 to 8, and then at the end you say, hey, usually the people who answer that they get, bracket, hours of sleep, bracket, they usually want something like this. So, you can build it pretty customized.
Some pretty cool stuff.
I liked the one that we did that used this. We actually did an intake form for a guy who books private and first class airfares. And we did a questionnaire, and it was like, hey, great, you're looking for a flight. Where are you flying to? Where are you flying from? How many people are traveling? What dates do you need? What fare class are you looking for? Private or first class? Okay, great, no problem. Behind the scenes, Chatmatic adds that information to a spreadsheet, text messages the guy who owns the account and says, hey, you just got a brand new lead. It's in the spreadsheet. They can then just log into the spreadsheet, see all the data sitting there and go, hey, we just got this new lead. Let's look it up. Then they can go back into the chat manually and hit them with an answer.
Yep.
And now you don't have to manually sit there and go, where are you looking to go? How many people? When do you need to go? Right? And then take those answers and like screenshot them and send them to somebody. Just automate this stuff, dude. So I always like to give this full circle, right? If you're a business that does this kind of thing, you should be using this, but also think about the value to the people who could run an agency doing this for other people. That's one campaign. Automate, flying information for people who do flying bookings, travel agents essentially. Automating that. I love those. And that's just using our custom fields. Then you've got our tags, and tags are, I would call them more like buckets. And that would be like, for instance, is this, we talked about it yesterday with the grill. Do you want the single person grill or the 2-person grill? If they say 2-person grill, I can now go in here and we're showing you on my screen, 2-person cooker, broadcast, send an email to those people. And this doesn't ever go away. So now in the future, I could actually broadcast to people who are 2-person cooker and they clicked on something, broadcast, email.
Yeah.
So now I'm actually getting even more ingrained in this. Now, I don't want you guys to get caught up, whoa, this sounds difficult. It's do it as you feel the desire to. Hey, Travis, I was working with this grill company and they had this 2-person cooker and they wanted to send this campaign to anybody who was ever interested in the 2-person cooker. There you go.
Well,
done.
What did Andrea say yesterday? She has made right around like 80,000 using this.
Well, on one campaign.
And she hasn't even scratched the surface of what the software can do.
Yeah, I don't think that she tags people, does custom fields.
You can use 1-2 types of the trigger types, private replies and keyword messages. And that's all you need to do to make tens of thousands of dollars. It's
crazy. If you're a good business person, you're smart, you're clever, you don't have to use all this stuff.
You don't.
It's great that makes a big difference. That, speaking of Andrea, she had a great offer. She had a really good audience. She leveraged this to help her get control of that. Another one of my favorite features, also in the settings here, is our templates. There's people who don't even use Chatmatic who make amazing templates because you can make every workflow that you make into a template, and you could share that across multiple pages, or you can actually make it live in our marketplace. And we have a bunch of people who've sold templates that they've made in our marketplace, and we share the value with you. So 50% of every sale that happens to your template, you get a PayPal for. So that's kind of a cool concept. But if you just want to make templates for yourself and share them across your clients' pages, great, you can do that. It's very easy. We get these little share codes, and you hit import template, and it's going to pull that template into your workflow list immediately. So it's essentially the way that you would clone a campaign. But you can see here, we've got a lot of templates in basically every single niche. And really, there's only two ways to ever get all of our templates, because I know this question is going to come. Comment section. Travis, I want those templates. Join the collective. That's the easiest way to get them. You get access to any template that you want. Travis, if I join the collective, would I get this template? You can have whatever one you want. Absolutely. All of them. But it's easier if you join, because then you can tell us which one we can tell you which one we actually need, and you can go from there. But we have every template you could ever imagine. Some have been downloaded well over 1,000 times, which is really cool. Then we have integrations and automations. Integrations is where you integrate with a business. Automations are how you trigger that integration to take place, to do something. Admins. So yes, Travis, I have a VA. Can I have them work on my account? Yep. You go into admins, you go page admins, you add their Facebook email address, hit invite. When they log in, they'll see your page. It's that simple. And then billing is where you'll either use a license if you have a license, or you can go in and set up your billing information. But that's the quick run through of what Chatmatic is for now. Obviously, we have some in-depth integrations. We have things like that you can look into in the future. For Shopify, like, we have the ability for you to add some amazing messenger features to your pages. But I kind of wanted to give you guys, and I just want to show you guys this one. This is another coffee giveaway that we did. I wanted to give you guys like as many of these examples, so that ideally, the outcome for today for all of you is, oh my gosh, I've got to do this, because this is where my business, I can actually take that next step. I can start building subscribers with everything that I do. Even if I am a flourishing business doing millions of dollars a month in sales, this guarantees that I can make more. Even if I'm a brand new business starting out, I know that I want to start out on the right footing. Based on what I saw in day one, I don't want to waste any more ad revenue sending people directly to my website when I could do stuff that big companies are doing. Guys, QVC.
Yeah, Lego
increased their revenue by 6x. Blenders Eyewear got a 7.5x lift by using Messenger. QVC, HSN, Miller's Roast Beef even used it. We've used it, as you've seen. Plastic Surgeon campaign. Like that, I like talking about those sort of like off the wall, I wouldn't have expected it to work ones. Plastic Surgeon is one of them.
I mean, I know we said that yesterday,
giveaway.
But that just, I mean,
it's wild. I mean,
100,000.
Totally wild. Chiropractors, local wax companies, cryotherapy, gyms, absolutely. We have examples of how these have worked in every niche, because we've been doing it for so long. Like, one of the ways that you win is just by not stopping, and that's definitely been kind of our go-to, is we're just here. And one of the things that we figured out is, there's a lot of rules. It took me 3 days to get to this point with you guys, and we haven't even covered everything. There's a lot of rules. There's a lot you can do. There's a lot of fun you can have. There's a lot of business growth. And that's why I wanted to create the collective, was because I wanted to give people an opportunity to peer inside the mind that we've been able to evolve without having to spend 6 years to do it. Mm-hmm. And, the way that, one of the things that I hope you guys take with you is the way that you saw Andrea use it, the way that you saw Sammy use it, the way that you've seen other people use it, Jason Card, all these people, you've seen them use it in different ways. Nobody used it the same way twice in all the videos that you guys saw, and the whole testimonials that you guys will see on the next page. They all use it differently. It's because they've been able to go through this to the point where they understand it for them. And that's something that the collective does. It just does it in a very, very tight window. And for those of you guys that are looking at this going, I absolutely want to make this happen, there's a link below. You can click it, get on a call with our team, and talk about joining our collective. You'll get all the details there as well, because there's a video that describes what goes into the collective, but it's everything that you would need, nothing that you don't, to expedite you getting the end result that you want. Biggest thing that I can say about the collective is the one-on-one aspect of it allows me and Trent and our team to get to know your business and just make it work for you, versus you having to learn everything that Chatmatic does, because it can work for everybody. That can be a long learning curve if you just do it yourself. Mm-hmm. Now, that said, somebody might book a call to get information about the collective and go, hey, I know what I'm doing. I just want to use Chatmatic because it looks dope. by all means. Absolutely. We have membership packages just to Chatmatic. You can get that information on the page. When you go and you book your call, you'll talk to somebody on our team. They'll walk you through the best membership rate we have for Chatmatic so that you can get everything that you need all in one bundle. That said, I think that for the first time in 6 years, I can honestly say the Collective is the number one way to get results for you and your business without having to pay the same fees that we would normally charge of $24,000 a year to work with a client. But you still get one-on-one, you still get access to us, and you still get that expedited learning curve. And so, as you can see just from looking at our templates, we've got templates in every single niche. The coffee template that I was just looking at here is an example of a coffee giveaway where you collect email address, you walk them through. You know, the beauty of what we've done here in these 3 days is I don't think that we have to even show any more sequences. I think that this was enough to give everybody an understanding that, like, I could build something. I could have something going. Other people, and this is one of my favorite quotes. It's not really a quote. It's more of like a saying, I guess. But if somebody in your situation who looks like you, acts like you, has a business like you, has done something like this, which it has happened, then you can do it too. And I just know that what you're seeing here is the beginning of something and a great thing for a lot of you guys out there. We look forward to being able to help any and all of you that want to come in. So you have a business, you want more leads, take that call and book with us on the Collective. And if you're looking to start an agency, guys, we can't work with everybody. That's one of the reasons we started the Collective, was because we can't work with everybody. We have a program that walks you through exactly what we do for our agency clients, how we got clients to pay us $24,000 a year, how we got clients to actually pay us significantly more than that. You can get retainers with certain clients. We walk you through everything. It's actually our Chatmatic Pro Academy. It's our certified user program. You get essentially everything that you would need for that. All of that's going to be explained on the next page. I don't want to spend too much time here talking about it. What I really want to make sure that we do is, can you think of anything else as an ending here that we haven't covered that's important that we talk about on a daily basis or with clients?
You know, obviously we only have, an hour and a half, 2 hours. We can't go through every little thing, but I think all things considered, we hit the nail on the head.
I hope so. I hope you guys realize that there's not a single day should go by without you guys utilizing this, because here's the downside. In 6 months, some of you guys are going to come back and be like, yeah, I saw that video, but I didn't do it. And now I got my ads shut down and I have no way of making money. Guys, I'm the first one to tell you, I've had my ad account shut down. It happens to literally everybody. I've gotten it back, thankfully. But when your ad accounts get shut down, if you don't have a list, you don't survive. I don't care how many sales you're doing on ads. It doesn't work. The old days of popping Facebook ads up and growing a really amazing business are mostly gone. You've got to focus on relationship, which is the real traditional way that we started with marketing. And this provides you the ability to do it. It's just a different way of thinking. It's not more complicated. It's actually way more simple than most campaigns you're going to run. It's just different. And if you're willing to be a different thinker, if you're willing to take steps outside of what everybody else is doing, because I can tell you right now, less than 1% of advertisers are using messenger sequences. Only something around 500,000 businesses are currently using these features, and maybe 100,000, if not less, are using them on Instagram. So you've got to be a little bit of a different thinker to execute on this, but everybody, I feel confident saying everybody. Would you say everybody that we've worked with has gotten more out of it than what they probably assumed and what it cost them to be involved?
100%.
I mean, I literally don't know of a single client who actually executes on this that's not making significantly more, because it's tried and true marketing. We're not here. That's why I wanted to do this 3-day training completely live. I'm not here to sell you a course. I'm not here to go, oh, if you want that, how to build that kind of campaign, come take the course. It's either collective or in videos like this, I'll share everything that we possibly can. We shared the fact, yes, there's some things that we can't share here, like how to do a contrarian copy sequence. That training video is over an hour long. So obviously that would be just an hour here.
It has
right,
to be so that
to
we
cover
can give
this.
you all the details.
So some of those things you can't cover in live trainings like this because I just don't want to take up all of your time.
Take the
but
call.
you can have everything. Once you're in the collective, literally everything. We want to give you only the stuff that you need and not the stuff that you don't. It also includes things like our fly-in Fridays. So yes, you can actually fly in to our offices here in Tampa one Friday a month and literally just work with us, have us build campaigns for you. You get to choose your track. So I would urge you, business owner, somebody looking to start an agency, somebody looking for a good side hustle, and they want to see if this is a good fit for them, and they want to go through all the steps. You see the potential because, again, name a business that wouldn't need this or benefit from this. Like, I can't think of a single business. So yes, the company that sells the lights that we're using right now could benefit from this. The company that sells, umbrellas and scooters and pre-workout, they could all use
I was
it.
just trying to think of something random, and the first thing that came was like paintball. Like,
Paintball, yeah.
That'd be cool.
You want to beat your buddies at paintball?
Yeah.
Get the information. Here's my email. Collect your email address. Hey, we're giving away the best paintball gun there ever was. Give me your email address. Now you've got it. Hey, by the way, you didn't win. Come buy this one.
And I haven't paintballed in like 12 years.
I know, neither have I. Dude, we're going to get ads for it now.
Yeah,
100% we're going to get paintball ads now. But I really hope, if anything, you guys enjoyed this. Feel free to share the links to any of these videos out on social media. We want to spread the word. We know that this is literally staple marketing that can absolutely make any business more money. It's made every business that we've worked with more money, gotten them more subscribers, built their list, prepared them in the way that a business should be prepared. We hope that it works for you. We've got a track for you in the collective, regardless of what type of business owner you are. E-commerce, digital coach, doesn't matter. Work with us. We'll make you more money, and everybody's going to be better off. And now you've got a brand new traffic source coming your way, something that you probably never even delved into. And if you have tried bots before, I promise you haven't tried them this way. And hopefully you've seen in the last 3 days some differences between us and everything else that's out there, because our system flat out works. We've gotten results. And at the end of the day, I just hope that everybody starts building their list. That's one of the big things that I've been trying to shout from the rooftops. If Travis, I'm brand new, I want to start an affiliate marketing business. Okay, first step, build your list. That's it. First step, build your list. Travis, I'm brand new. I'm starting a company that does health supplements. Build your list. First thing, build your list. We had a guy.
I don't have my products yet.
Build your list. We actually, it's a funny segment, side story ending here. When Chatmatic first came out, we started releasing some of these features, and a guy had an e-commerce store, and he sold tie-dye apparel. But he had a Facebook audience, a Facebook group of about 60,000 people. So he built a group up, so he had an audience. And he ran an ad to those people. It cost him $400, and the ad said, comment below. So he was using a private reply. Comment below if you want to enter into a chance to win a $200 gift card to our store. He got, and this is off the top of my head, somewhere around 1,400 to 1,500 email subscribers. He made $4,000 in sales, because what he did was he said, okay, great, you're entered in to win. Now, our store isn't live yet, but you can pre-order stuff at 15% off. So he sent them over to a page that had everything 15% off before he had products, and he fully funded his store so that now he could afford to get products. It cost him $400 in ads. He turned it into $4,000 before he had any products. And now he can go and use that audience again and again and again and release new products and make more money. And he got an email list of 1,500 people that he could market to. So when the store does open, email goes out, hey, our store is finally open. Oh, that's right. I saw this company. I wanted to be involved. If you don't do that, what do you do? The way that everybody's teaching is
front a bunch of money.
Yeah, just build your store and get all your products up. Make sure it's got a perfect thing set up ahead of time.
What if something doesn't sell?
And you've got to have a boatload of money in ads prepared for that, because it's not a fun way to get to know a business.
Yeah.
The first time that you see them just offering products, the fun way is, hey, we're giving some stuff away. Hey, we're holding a contest.
Kickstarter campaigns work so well.
Yeah, exactly. Get in, buy early, and get a discount. That could work with every single e-commerce store. And we've seen the same stuff with chiropractors, with HVAC companies, with coaches. I mean, you can run every one of our 4 main campaigns for any niche on the planet. which is why, again, I reiterate for now the last time that any business on the planet needs this, which is why it's such a great agency move to be able to get yourself 5 to 10 clients. We've had so many people join. Travis, I just want to make an extra couple $1,000 so that I can do X, Y, and Z. And they get in and they can get 4 or 5 clients pretty quickly because you're offering lead generation in a world where lead generation is the number one asset to a business. And you can offer it to your buddy who owns local businesses, or you can offer it to using our collective material, which I'm super freaking excited about. The collective material, the outbound marketing material that we're giving people.
Yeah.
I'm stoked about it because it's worked for me. It gets responses and it showcases this stuff so brilliantly, so that you don't have to worry about what words you say. We did it in video. But you can start offering this to people, influencers, e-commerce stores, coaches, HVAC companies, local business, esthetician.
Forgot that one.
Yeah. That we just heard a campaign from somebody who spent $0 on ads, and he said he got 500. He got some about 1,000 leads or so, but he got, I want to say 50 appointments for this esthetician, which they said was something like 20,000 in revenue or something. And again, it was all through automated chat. Ludicrous. I think you guys can do it too. I'm excited to bring you guys on. Make sure you check out the link for the collective. If you're ready to make that move, start the agency and/or have us work with you to get more leads for your business, and you want to jump the learning curve and you want to get this done as fast as possible in the proper way and guarantee the success, that's what the Wealthery Collective is. It's the arm of our second company, child company, if you will, that allows us to do that in a more one-on-one fashion without having to charge one-on-one prices. So, man, super exciting. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please let us know in the comments. Let us know on social media what you thought. Feel free to screenshot a bit of this and tag me on Instagram. I'm at @TheTravisStevenson. You may or may not get a message. Right now, I don't have a stories mentions on my page, but maybe I'll add one just for you guys that has something special in it. But other than that, you see the power that's in front of you. I don't want to spend and waste any more time of yours. Book that call. Thanks so much for being here.
We'll see you in the collective.
I guess that's it for us, and we'll see you at the collective. Thanks, guys.